She had no shoes, no family, no hope, only a broken doll and a fading memory of her mother's voice. When a rich man lost his way that night, he didn't just find a child, he found the daughter his heart had been searching for. Night breathes cold through a stand of pines. The sky is a bruised velvet. The stars are pale pinpricks behind a haze. A small orange ember fights the dark, a trembling campfire that coughs and dies with each gust. Beside it, curled into a child-sized knot, is a 3-year-old girl. Her name, if anyone had asked her, is Ella. Ella's hair is a knot of dirt and pine needles. Her dress, once cheerful, with a faded print of flowers, hangs in tatters, soaked at the hem. Clutched to her chest is a broken doll whose glassy eyes are scratched, one arm missing. The doll smells like soap and the threadbare scent of a woman's shawl. Ella presses it to her and whispers into its plastic face, as if the doll can answer, "Mama said someone kind would find me." The wind answers with a moan that sounds almost human. Somewhere deeper in the woods, an owl complains. A single light on the horizon, a truck's tail lights, disappears, leaving the forest to its small, private cruelty. Flashback. Shadows in a lantern-lit kitchen. A heavy woman's hand slams a cupboard. The stepmother's voice is a dry river of resentment. "We can't feed 2 children," she says. Ella remembers the look. Not quite hatred, but the emptiness of someone who has decided you are small enough to throw away. The door crashes. The world narrows to the taste of cold and the bruised shape of hope. Back to the present. Dawn is not yet dawn. The fog sits low like a secret. The little girl has drifted in and out of sleep. When she wakes, her breath makes a tiny cloud. Her lips are cracked. She tries to warm her hands with her breath and looks toward the path. She does not know how long she has been alone. Time for Ella is measured in shivers. A car's headlights stitch through the mist like a promise. An expensive car, black, gliding, stops on the path. The engine purrs and then idles, a small fortress of warmth against the cold. A man steps out. His coat is long and tailored. His hair is threaded with silver. He moves with the cautious attention of someone who has learned to avoid breaking fragile things. This is Mr. Raymond. He does not know yet that he has been driving away from a life of hollow rooms, the mansion where laughter still ghosts the walls, photographs that do not answer when he calls, a daughter lost to a single wrong turn on an ordinary afternoon years ago. The memory sits in him like a stopped clock. It will never tell the time again. He walks toward the firelight, drawn by the small human glow. When he sees the girl, a small, ragged figure against the world, his first thought is not pity. It is recognition of loss in miniature, a mirror held up to the empty place inside him. He crouches, careful, as if the act of bending might snap something irretrievable. "Hello," he says. His voice is gentle and surprised. "Are you alone?" Ella looks up. Her eyes are wide and silver with fear and something else. The slow dawning of trust. "My mama, she said someone kind would find me," she whispers. Mr. Raymond takes off his scarf and wraps it around her shoulders. "What's your name?" he asks. "Ella," she replies, the way a candle answers a question. "Ella June." He offers her a thermos of hot cocoa. Her fingers wrap around the cup as if it contains a treasure. He finds himself telling small lies to fill the silence, that he was lost, that he had been looking for a good walk. None of those lies matter. The small practical mercies do. First food, then warm hands, then the certainty that someone will not leave. They drive out of the woods with the girl pressed between the two warm seats. The world beyond the trees is the city, bright and unapologetic. For Ella, the difference is a kind of magic, light and shops, faces that keep moving, and a house that smells of lemon oil and old books. Mr. Raymond's house holds echoes. Portraits line the walls, daughters laughing into frames. A piano sits under a white cover. Guests once glided here like birds. Now the house moves with a deliberate quiet. Bringing Ella home is an invasion of its own loneliness. A small, living presence rearranging the silence. He places another hand on the stopped clock. It remains stubbornly still. But the rooms begin to fill in new ways. The child's small boots by the door, the doll on a mantel, the way the light hits the table when she eats. There is paperwork to be done, of course. Social services, records, questions that have the taste of judgment. Mr. Raymond knows how to move within systems. He signs forms with a pen that looks like an instrument of fate. He calls a lawyer, a friend at a private school. He arranges tests and doctors and the awkward interviews needed for a stranger to assume the place of parent. Ella sits in a high-backed chair during those conversations, playing with her doll. She is learning that adult decisions can be kind. Days become months. Montage. Winter melts into spring. Ella learns to tie her shoes. She colors beyond the lines and laughs like it's a new invention. Mr. Raymond sits in a chair with his hands folded, watching. He has never been given the right to father another day, and he is both clumsy and devoted in the way of a man who has read about being a father and must now improvise. He takes her to the market, to the museum, to the small bakery that wraps cinnamon rolls in wax paper. He listens to the sound of her voice as if learning instrument he forgot he loved. They fight sometimes about bedtimes, about the way she hides pieces of her old life in a shoebox under his bed. Ella dreams of a stepmother's shadow. Sometimes she wakes and looks in the doorway for the woman who left her. She asks for stories about her mother. Raymond tells them without lying that her mother loved her, that sometimes adults make terrible choices, that being left is not a mark of worth. At school, Ella starts timid, then brightens. Teachers call Mr. Raymond with small triumphant reports. She read an entire book, they say. She asked the best question. Today, each note is a stitch in a tapestry of confidence. The world, which once seemed to have a single opening to get lost, now offers windows. But life is not a straight ribbon. News travels slow but sure. Someone saw a girl in the woods who told a story. A woman in a town 10 miles away recognizes the description. The stepmother, an embittered figure named Agnes. Here's the rumor. Her life had been smaller than she wanted it to be. The person she cast away becomes a story she cannot let go. The first time Ella sees her, it is on television, a weak likeness in a police lineup montage. Ella's face tightens. The shoebox trembles. Agnes, when confronted by the possibility of what she has done, does the thing cruelty often does. She pretends nothing happened. She goes through motions of denial until the truth is a smell she cannot ignore. A quiet domestic fury grows in her. She finds the address, appears at the gates of the mansion, and demands something like recognition or revenge. She cannot even say which. Her voice is raw. "She's mine," she hisses. Mr. Raymond opens the door. The house, which used to be a place where his decisions did not have to be explained, is now the stage for one. He speaks softly to Agnes, each word measured. "You left her," he says. There is no accusation, so much as an accounting. Agnes's eyes flare. She mentions hardship, poverty, that the child was a burden in a life already crumbling. The men and women of the law wait in the wings. The social workers hold folders like small judges. But the truth is heavier than the explanations. Ella, shielded by the new life, watches from the stairs. She does not need revenge. She needs the naming of things. Raymond, who has learned to parent slowly and deliberately, understands that a true home must be built on safety, not on spectacle. Agnes is escorted away, left to face consequences she refused to accept earlier. There is no sweet catharsis in the scene, only the weary, necessary movement toward justice. Years pass in time-lapse. Ella grows, first girl, then teenager, then a woman with steady hands and a heart repaired enough to take on the world. She studies hard. She becomes the child who borrowed hope and paid it back in steady work. Nights of study and mornings of hospital rounds, internships that smell of antiseptic and possibility. Mr. Raymond watches graduation invitations pile on the mantel like small flags of triumph. On the day she graduates, cap and gown, the auditorium humming with caps and camera flashes. Ella stands to speak. The camera catches the audience. Parents with proud, tired faces, friends wiping eyes. Mr. Raymond sits in the third row, a small smile that is mostly an attempt at composure. He is older now. Years have softened the edges of his loss without erasing it. He has learned to accept that gratitude can coexist with grief. Ella takes the podium. The microphone makes her voice a part of the building. She looks over the crowd, a small, fierce woman, standing where the child used to be, and begins. There are moments, she says, when a life changes because someone chose to act instead of turn away. I was left alone once, in a place that smelled of pine and fear. I learned how small I could be, but someone found me, heeded my hands, and called me by my name. She pauses. The camera zooms. The room breathes. To the man who found me, who gave me food when I starved, shelter when I shivered, and books when I was curious. Thank you. You became my family when I had none. You taught me how to trust again. Mr. Raymond's eyes fill. He bows his head, the way one bows to a prayer. Ella stands before the crowd, her voice steady with gratitude. She says she's here not because the world was kind, but because someone chose to be. After the applause, she walks to Mr. Raymond and thanks him with quiet tears. At home, the old doll rests on the shelf beside framed memories. They share tea, small talk, and plans for a clinic filled with hope. Outside, the rain falls, soft and endless. Inside, peace lingers like a gentle song. Ella now wears the white coat of a healer. The night in the woods lives in her, not as pain, but as light. Some people are found, and some choose to find.